Hello, kind of windy, and this morning it was a little drizzly, which is pretty normal. The abnormal thing is the humidity is 100% and the temperatures in the 80s at least. It's stiflingly hot. I think we'll go this way. You know what's so frustrating these days is that we have so much power. Humans have all this knowledge, and we're going the opposite way of knowledge. And I don't quite understand that. The present catastrophic situation we find ourselves in is so easily fixed by just staying at home, wearing a mask if you have to go out when you're around people, distance. I mean, how hard is that? And test every human and separate the sick from the non-sick. That just makes sense. But we can't do it. We can't get medical supplies. It's a disaster. And if we can't do something this simple, how in the hell are we going to fix the environment in time before it blows up on us and becomes the next big disaster? Here in the U.S., the Orange administration's EPA is proposing it is not in the public interest to regulate chemicals at all. One particular chemical they're talking about is, now I'm not sure this pronunciation is correct, the actual word is here, perchlorate. It's a rocket fuel, a non-important rocket fuel. There's plenty of other rocket fuels. We don't need this, but we're going to deregulate this altogether. That's what their proposal is. Now, fortunately, there's a lot of people fighting it, hopefully some of our people. What is the old regulation for this chemical, or the proposed regulation that Obama never did take care of? 56 parts per billion in water. But the new EPA is suggesting it can be between 10 and 50 times higher than that. Guys, this is so off-the-wall crazy. What in the hell are we doing? Let's read some more about it as we're getting eaten by mosquitoes now. What are you doing all crooked? Humans approach. Why do we not want this particular chemical in the environment? First of all, what's bad for us is bad for the rest of the environment. We have to keep remembering that mammals are almost all exactly the same. This rocket fuel is bad for the thyroid gland. This chemical is soluble, very soluble in water, like soap. In other words, it'd be almost impossible to get rid of it. It's such a small chemical that it's hard to filter out. Once it's in the environment, it's in the environment. Children are especially susceptible to this exposure by the food that they eat. Not only will it damage their thyroid, but it damages their brain, so they don't even have a chance to become whatever they want to be because of a few people getting rich off of this chemical. It's all about the damn money. Greed, people. Why are nobody's saying anything about any of these deregulations anymore. Not a single protest, hardly at all. 16 million people around the world are now exposed to these toxic levels of this particular chemical. All for rocket fuel. There can be, so many other fuels can be used, including laughing gas. But as Trump says, profit above all else. We don't care about you. And it's so funny, so many of these people in the red states that vote for this man are the very people getting exposed the most and will suffer. Why is it that we are allowing this to happen to our children? Do we really not care about children? Even though we're popping them out in record numbers, the population here is just exploding. As so many people of authority say, we better get ready for next winter. It is going to be like none seen in modern time. If we can't even separate now, think of having to go through an entire winter separating again and going through the toilet paper shortage again and the food shortage again, except on steroids. But the people in the red states love this guy. I don't know why. I think it's plastic in the water, chemicals, farm chemicals being left on food that people eat. It's got to be something like that, and it's badly infecting all of us. Our brains are just deteriorating by the hour because of our pollution. And it's sort of like drugs. If you're so hooked on it, then you need more and more. Just like this stuff. As you engineer food, you need higher and higher doses of pesticides and herbicides to get it to work. Why are we going that way? There's so many other ways we could go. Does anybody have any ideas? Now the question is, if an animal in the wild didn't get it together, what happens? They become food for others. Now the question is, are humans part of the environment? Are we part of the wild? And what does that tell you?